A question that I often get from companies is whether it's an effective strategy to intensively collaborate with external partners in your R&D activities. Well, based on my own research of more than 500 R&D projects of one of the largest multinational firms in Europe, my answer to this question is yes. R&D collaboration can be a winning strategy for companies, but you have to adapt your management approach to the type of company that you are collaborating with. What we find in our research is that a strict upfront planning and a strict monitoring of your partner increases the effectiveness of market-based partnerships, so partnerships with customers and suppliers. However, the opposite is true for science-based partnerships with, for example, universities. Here we find that it's important not to micromanage these relationships, but to give sufficient autonomy and room to your science-based partner to experiment with different approaches and different solutions. Another factor which drives the success of R&D collaborations is intellectual property. And what is especially important here is access to what we call foreground intellectual property, which is new intellectual property created during a joint R&D partnership. Now, access to intellectual property is negotiated upfront at the start of a collaboration. And this access is very important because it determines how much value the two parties can capture from this joint R&D activity. My line of advice here is that you make sure that you negotiate access to all the pieces of intellectual property which are important for your business, and that you avoid complex IP arrangements such as, for example, joint IP ownership.